All right, we're the Bluenose for our second trip. This is incredible. This is going to be great. The Bluenose is now behind us. Pete, how lucky are we?
Oh, incredibly lucky today.
Pete, tell us all about it. We have a special guest.
Yeah, sure. I'm Pete Heck. I'm from Alberta. We've been out to Nova Scotia many times, but just this year we've come out especially for the Bluenose in its 100 years. And yeah, me and my wife, we travel around. We own the travel blog hectictravels.com. And we're just
very popular blog.
Yeah, and we're just lucky to be here with Alan to see this and to make some food.
Well, we're doing something very traditional.
Awesome.
That would have been served on the Bluenose back in the early 20s, of course, and of course synonymous with the Lunenburg area,
Right.
and of course the sauerkraut.
Of course.
So we're teaming it all up together and as many local ingredients as we can.
Awesome.
But we cannot welcome you here unless we socialize with
Yes.
something. So
Of
I
course.
say the Saltbox Brewery 100th anniversary.
Oh.
No, that's my can. This
All
is
right.
your can. I'm just kidding. You could have whichever can you want. Actually, we should have these cans because they're nice and
I was
cold.
going to say they're a little warm, right?
Yeah, look at that.
Yes.
So
So 100 years for the Bluenose from Saltbox Brewery, you said?
that's right.
Yep.
And here, this is a big welcome back to Nova Scotia.
Thank you so much. Good
Cheers.
to be here. Cheers.
We really can't have beer in Nova Scotia without saying either sociable or sláinte.
All right, that's
Sláinte.
sociable.
We got them both covered.
I mean, how cool is this?
Right?
I mean, we're pretty privileged today.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly. And it's here for the full week.
We're cold beer,
Yeah.
and we're in a good spot. There's my beer. So I've taken the liberty of doing a few things ahead of time.
Okay.
So what we're doing is cold cannon. Cold cannon would have been something traditional that would have been served, still served today in a lot of kitchens.
Right.
And cold cannon varies. It's always potato,
Yep.
and it's usually always turnip.
Mm-hmm.
But you could add whatever else to it. So in this case, I got tomatoes. My God, I don't have tomatoes in there. I have turnips,
Yeah.
I have carrots, and I have potatoes itself.
Yeah.
I threw an onion for flavor.
Sure.
So if you want to mash that,
Yep.
so everybody knows how to boil potatoes. I didn't think I needed to teach anybody that.
Yeah.
So if you want to take that and give it a good mash, we're going to add a few ingredients. And while you do that, I'm going to talk about the Lunenburg sausages. The Lunenburg sausages are made right here from Victor Greeks. Victor Greeks would be a legend here in the South Shore. And of course, he does some amazing sausages. And I fried them with a little bit of lard. I added a little bit of lard just to give it that extra seasoning. I guess I should help you, shouldn't I?
It'd be good if we added some
A little
butter
evaporated milk and butter, that would
Yeah.
help.
And why
So
the evaporated milk?
I'm using evaporated milk because that's what they would use on the
Exactly.
ship for sure.
Yeah.
And the evaporated milk is made locally in Atlantic Canada, of course. And I'm going to add some butter as well, which is also local butter.
And you said with the cold cannon that it would be just sort of familiar with each family. They'll have their own recipe of what they were going to add to it.
They do. Like a lot of people will use kale in the
Mm-hmm.
cold cannon, or they'll use spinach.
Right.
Something, whatever's left in their garden. They might use some parsnip. They might
Yep.
use, but it was the base for the meal. So a lot of them would use the cold cannon, put a little well in the middle,
Yeah.
and create a spot for the gravy and just
Yeah,
eat
sure.
away at it. It's also known in other cultures as, what is it called, Joanne?
Well, my family's Dutch. We call it a stumppot.
Stumpot.
Stumpot.
Yeah,
And
that's
And I
pretty
believe
cool.
in Ireland they do a cold cannon, but it's not with COLD. I think it's COLE.
Is it?
I think every culture has a variation of this. It would have been cheap peasant food. It would fill your
Right.
belly
And stick to the bones too.
Stick
I
to the
mean,
bones.
that's great for the sailors, obviously. I'd say,
No,
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
And the sailors ate very well on the boat. I mean, they would have barrels of sauerkraut in the bottom, salting away, and they
Right.
just rinse it in a little bit of water, and they're ready to go.
Yeah.
So I've added a bit more lard to this because I want to create a bit of a roux. That's probably good. Put the cover on that.
All right.
and Let's just looks good to me. What do you think?
I think it smells good, looks good.
Smells good, looks good. It's good.
All right.
What part of Alberta are you from?
We live in Lethbridge, which is just
Lethbridge?
south of Calgary.
And
Yeah.
when was the last time the Bluenose was in Lethbridge?
You know, it was a few years ago.
2 years. I'm just checking to see
Of
if you're paying
course,
attention.
yeah. No, it's always good to when we come out here to see it
Oh,
because we don't get the
absolutely.
privilege of seeing
I
water.
just walked across the boardwalk and I heard a family coming off the street and they were so excited that the Bluenose was here.
Oh
Right.
yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
So,
Something special.
Pete, I've got the lard melting away. I got the pot a little higher.
Okay.
As soon as that starts to cook, I'm going to start throwing some flour and create a roux.
Yep.
Once the roux is there, I'm going to add some of the sauerkraut juice
Okay.
to give us the base. But first, I'd love for you to try, if you could, the Lunenburg sausage.
Absolutely.
You like the crispy part?
Oh, we love the crispy part.
All right.
Is there something about a Lunenburg sausage that sets it apart? Do they do something a little different?
It's pork and beef, and it's got similar seasoning to the Lunenburg pudding. The Lunenburg pudding is something that you would spread on things or eat it with crackers. But the sausage itself, it's nice and mild, but it's not very fatty.
No,
You
exactly.
notice. So that's
Yep.
why I'm adding a little
It's
lard.
got tons of flavor with that seasoning. And
That's
that
right.
crispy part's so good.
So I'm going to turn that to minimum and add some flours. There we go. We don't need to add a lot, just enough to create a roux. I use my handy dandy spatula. There we go. And you want to create that nice floury white sort of gravy.
Right. And that'll go into the cold cannon, like usually?
That'll go on top of the cold
Yeah.
cannon, yeah.
So I see you have two types of sauerkraut. Are they both from this area?
They're both from this area, and there's always a verdict of who loves tan cook or who loves crispy kraut. There's two different big companies, and we wanted to be fair to everybody. So we're just going to use the juice of both and mix it all up and have some fun with it.
Perfect.
So if you want to open the other one,
Yep.
I'll start with the tan cook.
Are you a sauerkraut fan, Pete?
Oh, of course.
Are you really?
Yes.
I was going to test you on the tasting of it.
Ah. Yeah,
But,
no,
are
love
you
sauerkraut.
okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
You are.
Absolutely.
I like that. You're not lying.
No, not lying at all.
All right.
Yeah,
All right, so I'm going to just throw some juice. Do you want to put some of yours?
yeah, sure. It's okay to mix.
Yeah, it should be. I'm sure it's a competitive recipes, but
Sure.
so you get that
Oof.
smell, right?
Yeah, exactly. That
Oh,
nice
that's
fermented
great.
smell of the sauerkraut. That's so good.
And I'll use this one to put the sauerkraut in when it's time.
Okay. Should I open this one as well?
No, not
No?
really. I'm
Okay.
not going to use both.
All right.
Don't want to waste it.
Yeah.
Just move the sour cream over there. And now you want to give that you want to rub and scrub the bottom of this to make sure it creates a nice gravy.
Jeez, that smells so good.
It doesn't
Smells
take
amazing.
much, doesn't it?
Yeah. And that's what, 3 ingredients?
Three
Just
ingredients. Well,
lard,
we
flour,
still
and
need some
sauerkraut.
salt and pepper.
Of course.
If
Get
you
that
want to
now?
add that,
Sure. You want to just tell me when?
you go ahead. You go ahead. I think it's going to need a bit more of the juice. So it's fair to say you'd use the juice of one entire container.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
I
Yeah.
think this must be a very old-fashioned recipe, is it?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, we're trying to take recipes that they would have had on the ship and bring it back to life and do something different with it. I mean, this is a twist on a cold cannon. Cold cannon would have been on the menu at least 2 to 3 times a week,
Sure.
right? So this is a way of doing it. And I mean, they work so hard on the boat. I mean, the cooks got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, Joanne, you were saying?
Yeah, I think breakfast, the first seating for breakfast was at 4 a.m. And I think dinner went up until 7 or 8, but then at 11 o'clock there was sort of a midnight feast again.
Oh, yeah.
Was there really?
I'm assuming there had to be more than one cook on board.
Had to be. And I'm going to take, look, about half of this.
Oh,
Oh,
did
maybe.
you add your milk?
No, I'm going to add the milk after.
Oh, you're gonna do it after.
Well, I think I don't want it to get too hot. Yeah, I think I'm going to add it after so it doesn't curdle, Joe.
All right.
There we go. Just enough sauerkraut, because everybody loves sauerkraut, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'm going to pull a little bit for you to have a taste if you'd like.
Absolutely.
So that the kraut is nice and warm.
Mm.
How's that?
So good.
Not too sour?
No, not at all. Oh, that'd be good with the sausage.
But how cool is it that it comes in these
I know, the milk jug.
the
And
milk
like-
jug,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And it gives
that's
you a
traditional?
recipe. That's traditional.
Yeah.
You could buy the big jug. That would be a liter.
Mm-hmm.
But you could buy the 500 ml if you would like
Right.
a half a liter.
Yeah,
That's how popular they are.
perfect.
All right, look, my gravy's starting to look good. I'm going to take some of the evaporated milk
Yep,
and add it to it if you want.
yep. Bet.
Not a lot though, Pete. I think move this out of the way.
About a quarter cup? A little more than
Yeah, a little more, I think.
All right.
Yeah, that's good. Look how it gives us that nice white color. Okay, we're going to
Smells incredible.
Yeah.
bring this to a warmth so it's nice and warm.
It's a simple, quick meal too, right? I mean, that's obviously like the families and people on board just wanted something simple,
Well,
quick, and
I think that's the key.
Yeah.
I think there was meals. These were stuff to stick to your bones type
Yeah.
of meal. There's nobody was watching for fat content at that point or how healthy they were eating.
Yeah.
They just ate whatever they had available to themselves. Right?
sure, absolutely.
So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, being able to do this and having the challenge to take some old recipes and bring them alive again has been great.
Yeah.
I think
do.
it's amazing that these recipes are still here in written form. Somebody took the time to preserve the actual recipes that the cook had on board.
They did for the baking,
Yeah.
but they didn't have any handwritten recipe for what we're doing.
Yeah.
Because I think it was you either knew how to do this or you're out. You know, there was no choice.
Yeah.
Even the baking, in a lot of cases, they list the ingredients, but they don't list.
They
the
don't
method.
say the method or the quantity. All right, so our sausages are ready.
Mhm.
This is ready. Let's put some of those mashed or that cold cannon right on top.
All right.
So look, we're short on spoons, so you could use this side.
All right.
Give me a good mount.
Good mount.
Yep, if you don't mind.
Not at
There was
all.
quite a variety of food served on board,
you
considering
want it?
the
Just-
limited
Right in the middle.
space that
Right in
they
the
would
middle.
have had to store.
Like a mount.
Yeah.
Say that again, Joanne.
There was quite a variety of food served on board, considering the limited storage space they would have had.
Well, it surprised me when you look at it. How many? Yeah, keep going.
Keep going. All right.
Yeah, we're on the Bluenose,
Oop.
and the men are hungry, and
Yeah,
the women.
sure.
There you go. Look at that.
I'm not sure there were women on the Bluenose.
No,
in
there
those
wasn't.
days.
And a little more on this side. That's great. That's perfect.
Perfect.
All right,
Although I
and then
suspect the cook might have been a woman based on the handwriting. Not 100% sure.
look, I'm going to add the Lunenburg sausage right on top, just like that.
Perfect.
And I'm going to use that spatula again.
Mm-hmm.
Double duty.
Spatula. Love
Would
it.
you like a ladle? I can grab you one quickly.
I would like a spoon of some sort.
Spoon? I'm
Yeah.
sure I can find you.
I appreciate that, Joanne. So we're basically going to now add the gravy right to the top of this.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty good. I'm going to move this
You bet.
out of the shot for now. And the lard, you know, it's a good time to have a sip of beer.
That sounds like a novel plan. Sláinte.
Cheers.
Let's tinge that.
You
Oh,
bet.
yeah. Perfect.
Oh, look at that. That is definitely stick to your ribs food.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And right on top. So it pours all over.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that. I say a little salt and pepper to this.
You bet. Get a little seasoning in there.
Perfect. That paired with a cold brew, and you've got cold cannon, Lunenburg sausage, and sauerkraut white gravy, instantly ready to go. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
Nova Scotia. Thanks for cooking with me. I really
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think this is it. This is pretty cool. Have fun. We'll see you soon.
Hello, folks. Dan McKinnon here. Before I start into the song, I just wanted to give a shout out with thanks to the folks from Bluenose 100 for giving me the opportunity to lend my voice to this wonderful ongoing event, the celebration of the 100th anniversary of the launching of the original Bluenose back on March 26th, 1921. I wrote this song 25 years ago for the 75th anniversary of the Bluenose launching, and it seems only fitting that today, this year, I sing it again for the centenary of the launching of the original Bluenose. The Captain and the Queen. She breathed her last one January evening. She met her fate so far away from home. Short of mash, she hauled freight for a living and struck a reef upon some foreign shore. He heard the news and stood still for a moment. His eyes welled up with tears and cold tide. You could hear it in his voice as he tried speaking. They say that night a part of him had died. He could hear the wind howling through the rigging, the Bluenose and her captain running free. He could feel the pride and praise for glory they would raise, to be the best, the captain and the queen. They christened her the Bluenose one March morning. She turned her head toward the open sea. 1,000 voices cried for victory, for pride. They cheered them on, the captain and the queen. Now the season on the Grand Banks of her metal. Judgment Day was swiftly drawing near. Stout hearts were beating fast as a finish line race passed. They beat the best, the captain and the queen. You could hear the wind howling through her rigging, the Bluenose and her captain running free. You could feel the pride and praise for glory they would raise, to be the best, the captain and the queen. She worked hard for 18 seasons on the Grand Banks. From Gloucester's challenge never did they stray. But the days of sail had passed and stayed with her till the last, and he cast her lines and watched her steam away. Now the captain has a grandson who's a captain. The Bluenose has a daughter who's a queen. Together once again, riding high against the wind, forever one, the captain and the queen. You can hear the wind howling through her rigging, the Bluenose and her captain running free. You can feel their pride and praise for glory they will race, to be the best, the captain and the queen. You can hear the wind howling through her rigging, the Bluenose and her captain running free. You can feel the pride and praise for glory they will race, to be the best, the captain and the queen. You can feel the pride and praise for glory they will raise, forever one, the captain and the queen.